What you're looking at is an ancient petroglyph, and it shows the ant people of Orion. There's some research here from Gary A. David's book entitled The Ant Hills of Orion, Ancient Star Beings of the Hopi. Then it goes on to explain who the ant people are. Now, the petroglyph is located in northern Arizona, in case you're wondering, and it is believed that these rock drawings are illustrating an alien species, which typically are the Greys. I'll go over this very quickly for you. Those that are of Orion is the apparent meaning of the term Nephilim from Genesis 6:4 of the New English Bible. Masonic researchers claim that the root Aramaic word is one name for the constellation. The Nephilim, of course, are familiar to readers of Zecharia Sitchin. The Sumerian root NFL has been translated to mean those who were cast down upon the earth. The King James Version calls them giants in the earth. Just before the great flood, the sons of the gods, interpreted as either fallen angels or the watchers, made with the daughters of men to produce these giants. It may be more than a coincidence that Nephilim sounds much like the Hebrew word Namala, which means ant. If the Nephilim are indeed of Orion, the ant people could actually be those that were cast down from the skies, perhaps from Orion itself. And it goes on to say the constellation rises due east, and actually the name is formed by dropping the initial M in the Indo-European stem moru. Astoundingly, this word actually means ant. Perhaps the constellation was so named because of its narrow anthropomorphic waist, suggesting the insect. And then it goes on into the Hopi term for Orion, which I can't even begin to pronounce, and it compares it to string up as beads on a string, referring to the constellation and referring to a form of the ant, head, thorax, and abdomen. And this shape actually synchronizes with many sacred ceremonies that are performed annually. When Orion dominates winter skies, the ants are deep in their own kivas or hills. It goes on into the Hopi explanation, stating that the ant mound with its dark tunnels and its kiva is symbolic to the underworld. Here's a representation right here of Hopi-like art images of the ant people. As you can see, they have the large, bulging foreheads, rounded heads, huge eyes, and very scary-looking mouth, very thin limbs. The Hopi god of death is Masau, which is similar to their word Masai, meaning gray. So it may be referring to the Greys. Masau is also the terrestrial equivalent of Orion, whose name means ant. The Hopi word for ant is Anu. The Babylonian sky god was also named Anu. So all of these connections are there. Anu or Danu was also the appellation of the Celtic mother goddess and patroness of the dead. and it goes into the Egyptian city of Heliopolis and its connection to the ant people. According to the Hopi, the ant people saved them during two catastrophic destructions of the first world, or first era, and the second world, first by fire, second by ice. They're portrayed as generous and industrious, and they have their own beliefs why they are so thin. I'll put a link up to this article. They're also associated with either warfare or hunting. And then they have their different beliefs about the colors of ants, such as the Red Ant Society of the Zuni, a tribe that lives near the Hopi. And this society is associated with healing. The Maya also refer to them being able to move large blocks. And here's an ancient petroglyph showing the ant people.